This is the deep end of the pool, so why don't you take my hand and join me as we go off the edge together into the wild blue yonder, into the abyss, into the great divide, into the wild unknown, searching for answers, seeking understanding to the complexities of the texts in the books. In this particular book, Hosea, which is right after the book of Daniel. It's a fascinating read thus far, and I hope you join me for it, and I hope you get as much out of it as I intend to put into it. And therefore, as much as I get out of it too, because it is quite educational, even for me. So I hope you guys are having a good weekend. I've had a long weekend. I'm exhausted, as you can tell by the furrow in my brow and the length in my teeth and the white in my beard. I am tired. It's been a long day. The rosé on my cheeks from the sun. I spent the whole day yesterday out in the sun, playing music, rocking out to a crowd. It's tiring. It was 108 degrees all day yesterday. If it was 1 degree, it was 108 degrees. And let me tell you, that ain't nothing will take the energy and strength out of you like being in the sun all day, hot sun. It'll just drain the life right out of you. I got home at about 6:30. It's full 14-hour day. I went straight to bed. And I didn't wake up till this morning where I had to get up and go to another show at 11 o'clock in the morning. Needless to say, I drug into that one, dragging ass. But I got there, and I did the show, and it was a good show. And we had fun, and we got paid, and da-da-da. That's all there is to it. That's the name of the game. Do another show, get another dollar. Keep going. Where is everybody at this Sunday night? Maybe they forgot it was 8 o'clock. It's okay. There'll be somebody here shortly. Until then, I shall regale you with tales of my journeys and exploits and, adventures. I'm an adventurer, apparently. In this scenario, I am anyway. It was a bit adventurous to go to Durham, North Carolina yesterday. It was a little bit of fun, complete with a blow up and the whole 9 yards and people being mad at each other at the end of the day. But he'll do it to you every time. But we got through the show and it was good. And we made some friends. And we'll probably be back to do that show next year. And I learned some valuable lessons about 2A laws, which is what that benefit was about. It's about gun laws and lawyers who are there to protect people who defend themselves and what they can do and how they do it. You know, it's nice to know there's people out there that'll defend you if you get in a situation like that, or you have to defend yourself with force. Because I assure you, our great cops will not be on your side. You'll go to jail just like the other guy would, even though you're defending yourself. Leave it to the courts to decide, I suppose. But there's guys out there, these lawyers in particular, who will defend you if you do get in a situation like that, and they'll go to the mat for you every time. Not just with gun laws, but with fist fighting and any number of other things, vehicular manslaughter, whatever it is you happen to be entwined in, they're there for you, but particularly gun laws. And there's quite a few people over the past few years that have needed people like that on the news and such. That Rittenhouse character was one of them. That couple up in Chicago was another one of them, defending their own property. Ended up going to jail because they defended their property. I got news for you. If you come on my property, you're going to meet the same reception, jail or no jail. There's only one thing you got in this world, and that's your home. And if you can't protect it, there's no point in having a home. So, whatever. Hey, there's an April. How are you, sweetheart? Welcome to the show. Thank you for the love you sent me this weekend. I greatly appreciate it. Mwah, 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 mwah. You are the wind beneath my wings, dear. Know that. How's Kevin and CJ and the whole gang? I am a tired little boy. I have been going this weekend. I love you, true too. Thank you. I can't tell you enough. I can't express with words how grateful I am. It means a lot. It really does. And know that it goes right here. I'm very appreciative. So, hey, welcome to the show, whoever's new. Man, nice Cuban. Celebrate the equalization of my weekend as we calm down, relax. I've been going quite hard as I can go for the past 2 days. I'm tired. I'm ready for bed. And I got to work in the morning, so I can't get much of that. Because for whatever reason, God thought it was funny to make me a night person. We are battling rain now, going to dinner, but I'm here and I'm here. I'm here though. I've got all the boys right now, and I won't be able to stay in tune too much. So just get some. I'm getting some. What are you talking about? Sleep? No, don't work that way. Nope. I am the kind of guy, rest and let's do it tomorrow. I can't. I mean, I can. I'll be here tomorrow, but I can't do the rest thing. I got to do the Sunday and Monday. It's part of the plan. I appreciate it, though. I'm not too tired to do my job. I'm just talking. Just telling you how the week went. Thus, I will be here at least for a little while. Maybe some other folks will join in. Besides, we got a fascinating book to get through. Hosea. We started a new book. We're in chapter 5, verse 5 of Hosea for anybody that wants to follow along. Anyway, we had 2 great shows this weekend. Good shows. The band performed admirably. Little nitpicky things here and there, but that's to be expected when you got a bunch of old crotchety people together set in their ways. But, overall everything went smoothly. And we made friends and we got booked again. And it's fantastic. I did try to put film up of before and after and in between, but yesterday I got so wrapped up that I forgot to film the show part. So you just got before and after and a little bit after, because when the time we were leaving, it had started raining and it clouded up real bad and it kept kicking me off the internet and I couldn't get a signal long enough to do a very long stream. So then I just did a little bit and that was it. But today you got it before and you got some show. So you got at least half a set anyway. Something you can watch if you're interested, if you're into that kind of thing. You don't have to if you don't want to. It ain't for everybody. And this particular band is a little more laid back than the other band or anything I've done previously. But laid back is a good thing for older people in restaurants. And that's where we were playing today, at a bar and grill. So kind of needed to be laid back. But it's not bad. It's good. Good stuff. We had some people come in and was filming us today. I think they were from the news. I don't know for sure. That would be interesting to find out what they were doing. But they were filming us anyway, so that's the interesting thing. And oddly enough, yesterday it wouldn't rain while we were playing. It was 108 degrees the whole time. As soon as we packed up and got on the road, it started raining. Cooled off. Amazing. On a positiver note, more positive than the previously positiver, my water will be on tomorrow. They had to fix the lines. Apparently the city's pipe is busted out on the road somewhere, and they couldn't get water to come to my house. So they had to call in a technician to dig up the road and fix it. So that's what's taking so long. It's getting done. Let's see what you say. I saw that when you came on, and yes, I did watch it. When I can't text, only predict talk to text. I cannot talk because I'm driving. I'll try my best to keep talking. Discoteca text. Discoteca? Biblioteca discoteca? Your predictive text sucks, because if you were trying to say reply and it said discoteca, something is wrong. Some wires are not connecting somewhere. It's kind of funny though. I'm saying is I'm talking into my phone as I'm driving, so things might not come out clear. That's all right. I'm used to this. I ain't no stranger. This ain't my first rodeo. You go ahead and say whatever you got to say. I'll read it just like it comes out, and then I'll interpret it. Because I'm quite good at interpreting gibberish. This is a good cigar. Fantastic. Lovely. Delicious. With a slight aftertone of oak. I like it. It's an oaky cigar. I wonder if it's from Muskogee. That's a little Merle Haggard humor for you in case you weren't up to snuff on the lingo. Oh, who else is here? Say hello, other person. Or not. Or leave a thumbs up or, something. Wave furiously at the phone and hope it translates through. That's all right. I understand you're driving, and I understand you got kids and you're texting. That's okay. It's weird. Maybe I just need to refresh my phone or something. Or maybe slow down with talking. I don't know. Well, maybe, here's a thought. Maybe don't talk slang. Maybe just say the words that are important and they'll come through. Maybe try to curve the southern accent a little bit and just speak clearly into the phone. Like, don't say I don't know to the phone, because it doesn't understand what you mean. If you say I don't know to a phone, it'll either write out I don't know, or it'll spit out gibberish because it doesn't recognize the syntax. It only recognizes key words. So try that. That might help. I'm not making fun of you. I have the same problem. That's why I'm telling you this, because I know how to make computers work. So try it. Keywords. Don't say or don't stutter. Think, speak, record. Takes a while. I do it too. I had to learn. Believe it or not, I can't speak publicly, professionally, but it takes a minute. I have to focus on what I'm doing, and it helps to have a script. Because when you don't have a script, you got to go off book and talk rambly like I do, because I'm just making up stuff off the top of my head to talk about, and I'm not that interesting. So when you have a script, it makes it easier. Speaking of scripts, where's Kevin at tonight? Is he by your side, as a loyal partner should be? Kids start school on Wednesday, but orientation is on Tuesday, so I've got them for the night and then go home tomorrow, and they go home tomorrow. Plus, anymore, only the weekends. I gotta share them with my mom and your dad, my son. Hello. And I've got 3 boys in the car with me, and all watching their iPads right now, and the noises in the background. So that's another reason why everything is coming out stupid. Understood. You just do the best you can, baby. I know how it is. I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. Hadn't been there in a while, but I remember it. I know what it's like to have a car full of youngins screaming at the top of their lungs and you doing everything in your power to not freak out and pull your face off and throw your teeth at them. Jesse, try having 3 boys in the car. They're talking in the background and I'm trying to talk. And there's another reason why it's not doing what it's doing. Yep. It's a delicious cigar. I'm enjoying it. I don't get these very often, but when I do, I get these. And they're delicious. Nice Cuban. Let's try this again. I have 3 boys in the car, and they are allowed my everythings not coming out correctly. And they are loud. So everything is not coming out correctly, except this time because I'm stopped at the red light. Gotcha. I got you the first time and the second. The third time, it's utterly confusing. I have no idea what you meant. I'm teasing. I got it. So pull a Lynn Johnson and turn around and go, shut up. And give them that eye, that stank eye that only mamas can do. That worked for me. I don't use grips. I'm talking to family or anyone else for that matter. He is waiting on me at the restaurant. I don't use scripts. Oh, why not? Makes thinking a lot easier. I use them all the time. I'm using one right now and you can't even tell I got it on. That's a diaper joke. You'll get it later. And Kevin is waiting on you at the restaurant. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you guys get to have such good foods weekly, bi-weekly, tri-weekly. You know what I had for dinner tonight? Pizza and chicken wings. Had to have it. I got me a small meat lover's pizza and 6 chicken wings, and that's what I had for dinner. Delicious. And a cigar. Hello, third person. Welcome to the show. We're about to get started. Fear not, it's coming. I kind of want one more person to show up if possible. But if not, I'll move on. Like it ain't nothing. I love it when a plan comes together. All right. If you got your Bibles handy, break them open to Hosea chapter 5, verse 5. That's where we left off. That's where we're going to pick up. And right off the bat, first couple of sentences, there's a very powerful message that I want you to receive. Have you ever been praying to God for something and you feel like he's just not listening to you? Feel like no matter how much you pray, he just won't answer. Like you're just praying to dead air. But he's not on. And I told him that I was trying to get there to him to get on here, talk. I don't know why he's not on. He might be flirting with the waitress. You know, some things are important. Anyway, as I was saying, you shouldn't feel that way. When you pray, God absolutely hears your prayer, but that does not mean he will always answer it. In fact, most of the time he won't. Most of the time, for most people, all you're going to get is dead air. You're talking in one direction. But there's a reason for that, and this verse explains it. It's very subtle, so I want you to pay close attention when I say it so that you get it, because it's not, just because it's subtle doesn't mean it's not important. It is very important. Please answer my prayers many times, I know from experience. Yes, and he does answer prayers, just not all of them, and not all the time. There's a reason for that, though, and here it is. And the pride of Israel doth testify to his face. Pride is not a good thing, and when it is so prevalent that it's in your face, in God's face, he's going to take offense to it, because he doesn't want you to be in a proud situation. He wants you to be humble and servant to him, not proud and refusal of his authority. So when it's in his face, that's not a good thing. Therefore shall Israel and Ephraim fall in their iniquities. Judah also shall fall with them. That's 3 places that are under God's wing that are going to fall prey to their sins because of their pride. They shall go with their flocks and with their herds to seek the Lord. In other words, they'll go on pilgrimages. They'll go out of their way to look for God, and they won't find him. He won't be there. But they shall not find him. He hath withdrawn himself from them. Now, I've said this before, that God has washed his hands of people. And here is evidence that he, in fact, has done that before and is doing that now. God literally has had enough. He's literally tired of all of the sin and all of the backsliding and all of the crookedness and all of the corruption and horrible people. And he's withdrawn himself. There was a time when God walked on this earth with man and talked to them directly, face to face, in the Garden of Eden and before, and around that period of time, right up till about the flood, God would visit, and his encounters with people were very frequent. It happened all the time. And as we go on into the Bible, you'll notice that it's happening less and less. And then it got to a point where he would send his angels out, but he wouldn't go. And now it got to a point where even the angels don't come anymore. So let me assure you that your prayers are most definitely 100% heard. And sometimes they're even acted on. But God's not going to speak to you. He's just not going to. He's never spoken to me. He's never spoken to anybody, not in a voice, anybody I know that's being honest. That's just not how God operates. He's withdrawn himself from the group. But he's still there. And you'll see evidence here that he's still there in just a minute when he shows mercy to these people that he's now punishing. But he has refused to allow them to find him. And that's just the way it is. Why? Why did he withdraw from them? They have dealt treacherously against the Lord. That's why. Hey, Kev, what's up, brother? For they have begotten strange children. What does that mean? That means that they had relations with women of other religions and of other bloodlines, thereby bearing children not belonging to God. When your children and your family are dedicated to the Lord, these children don't belong to God because they didn't come from God's children. That's what a strange child is. They have begotten strange children. Now shall a month devour them with their portions. This is a Hebrewism. It means that for a month they'll get what they deserve. Blow ye the cornet in Gibeah, and the trumpet in Ramah. Cry aloud at Bethaven, after thee, O Benjamin. Benjamin being not one of the crowds mentioned in the 3 names that God's punishing. That would be Israel, Ephraim, and Judah. Ephraim shall be desolate in the day of rebuke. Among the tribes of Israel have I made known that which shall surely be. In that day, when Israel was thriving, I made it known that which should be. Ebenezer, hello. Welcome to the show. That's a name I haven't seen before. Glad you're here. Stay a while. Take your shoes off. Sit a spell. Enjoy. The princes of Judah were like them that remove the bound. Therefore, I will pour out my wrath upon them like water. They're going to get soaked with this wrath. That's pretty obvious what that means. Ephraim is oppressed and broken in judgment because he willingly walked after the commandment. Therefore, I will be unto Ephraim as a moth. You ever seen what moths do? They eat little holes in all your clothes, and they're quite a nuisance. And to the house of Judah as rottenness. He will decay it from the inside out because they walked after the commandment, meaning they did not listen to the 10 commandments willingly. That's not a good thing. When Ephraim saw his sickness and Judah saw his wound, then went Ephraim to the Assyrian, and sent to King Jareb, yet could he not heal you. No, only God can do that. At the fun center with all the boys, all 3 of them. April says, thanks for coming tonight. Enjoy. And if you like what you hear, please press the like button and subscribe. We would love to have you. Speaking to Ebenezer, obviously. No, King Jareb could not heal Ephraim, nor cure you of your wound, speaking to Judah. No, because these wounds and this sickness are inflicted by God, and a man cannot fix that. For I will be unto Ephraim as a lion, as a young lion to the house of Judah. In other words, I'll tear Ephraim from limb to limb, but I'm really going to tear into Judah. Even I, will tear and go away. I will take away, and none shall rescue him. He's going to thrash him. He's going to tear him apart, and nobody's coming to the rescue. You're going to get it. That's what God's saying here. Just subscribe now. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense. What is that? What's the qualifier there? You must confess. You must acknowledge your offense. You must tell God that you're aware that what you did was wrong. That, in essence, is repenting. You must repent. If you don't repent, you can't be saved. And the way you repent is by acknowledging what you did wrong and changing your ways, changing your heart. That's it. Till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. That's second qualifier. After you acknowledge your offenses, now you must seek God. That's the 2 things you have to do to be in repentance. In their affliction, they will seek me early, meaning they've got it so bad, they're going to be coming early. I'm expecting them anytime now. That's faith. You got to have faith that God will take care of you. Sometimes he will chastise you. Sometimes he will cause you pain to teach you a lesson, but he will also heal that pain. He will also make better that which was done away with. He hath smitten, and he will bind us up. In other words, he'll bandage them up. He spanked them good, now he's going to bandage them up. After 2 days will he revive us. In the 3rd day he will raise us up, and we shall live in his sight. There's that Lo-Ami Miami. I will be your God, and you will be my people. They will live in his sight. It means the same thing. Then shall we know, if we follow on to know the Lord, his going forth is prepared as the morning. And he shall come unto us as the rain, as the latter and the former rain unto the earth. The former rain being the flood, the latter rain being that which happens at the end times. Which obviously has not occurred yet. It will. O Ephraim, what shall I do unto thee? O Judah, what shall I do unto thee? For your goodness is as the morning cloud, and as the early dew it goeth away. That's not saying very much about your goodness. Morning clouds are usually pretty sparse, pretty scattered, and they go away quickly. Like when the sun comes up, they dry up and go away. That's not very good of their goodness. That's Judah. That's the king line. That's where the Jews come from. Those are God's chosen people. They're not supposed to be having trouble with goodness. They're supposed to be good. So you see where the problem is here. Therefore have I hewed them by the prophets. I have slain them by the words of my mouth. And thy judgments are as the light that goeth forth everywhere. Light touches everything. So this is judgment. For I desired mercy and not sacrifice. I didn't want your sacrifices. I wanted you to have mercy on one another and on me. You wanted to sacrifice a goat, so I agreed to it. Because blood covers blood. That was your thinking anyway, so I agreed to it. But if you're going to do it, you got to do it right. This is how I want it done. But I wanted your mercy, not your sacrifices. So we started off on the wrong foot. And the knowledge of God more than burnt offerings. I wanted you to know me. I didn't want your burnt offerings. I don't want you to build a church and feign like you're trying to learn something. I want you to know me personally. I want you to have a relationship with me, says God. I want you to talk to me, share with me, be part of the life with me. I want to be your God, and I want you to be my people. Lo-ami, Miami. There's that word again. This is the same sentiment, only in a more strung out way. Hey, Diego, what's happening, my brother? Welcome, welcome. We're in Hosea 6:6, 6:7 now. But they, like men, have transgressed the covenant. What's the covenant? That's the promise that God made to Abraham, that his descendants will be like the stars in the sky or the sands of the sea, if he did a certain thing, which he did. He kept his end of the bargain, and God kept his end of the bargain. These people have broken that covenant. There have they dealt treacherously against me in the covenant area. They've been treacherous when it comes to keeping their end of the bargain. Gilead is a city of them that work iniquity, the whole city, all full of sinners, and is polluted with blood. That's murder. That's fainéants in the Greek, meaning criminal homicide. And as troops of robbers wait for a man, so the company of they probably killed people because they found out the lewd things that they do. Priests don't have a very good reputation even back then. What am I saying? Stay away from Catholics. That's what I'm saying. Bad, bad, bad. Shamey, shamey. I have seen an horrible thing in the house of Israel. There is whoredoms of Ephraim. Israel is defiled. What do you think he means by that? The word whoredom is only used in two contexts. The one being what you think it means, sleeping around, adultery. The other is the worship of false idols. That's also whoring around. And these people are tremendously guilty of this egregious sin. It's commandment number 1 for a reason. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. I am the Lord your God. Period. It's a very specific, very serious commandment. And they break it all the time, which is their whoredoms, which is why they're defiled in the eyes of God. Also, O Judah, he hath sent an harvest for thee. When I returned the captivity of my people, I pulled you out of slavery. I returned you from captivity. And he sends the harvest to his false idols. That's not good. When I would have healed Israel, says God, I would have healed you. All you had to do was ask, and I would have done it. Instead, you turn to these false idols. Then the iniquity of Ephraim was discovered, and the wickedness of Samaria, for they committed falsehoods. They lied. And the thief cometh in, that would be the devil. And the troop of robbers spoileth without. They've been robbed. They've been robbed of their righteousness by the devil, who is the thief in the night that comes in. Why? Because they have spoiled themselves. They have committed falsehoods. They have worshipped false idols. They have lied about doing so. It's not a good look, Israel. And they consider not in their hearts that I remember all their wickedness. They haven't even thought about it, that I don't ever forget any of this. It hasn't even occurred to them that I have to live with everything they do for the rest of eternity, because I don't forget. They might do it and then be forgot about it the next day. I'll remember it forever, says God. Now their own doings have beset them about, have spread them out. They are before my face. They have screwed up so blatantly that they're doing it in my face. They are proud of their actions. They make the king glad with their wickedness and the princes with their lies. They are adulterers, as an oven heated by the baker, who ceaseth from raising after he kneadeth the dough until it be leavened. Now, what does that mean? That is a baking allegory. It means one thing, but it's talking about something else. Ceasing from raising until the dough is kneaded means that you're kneading the dough. You're actually pressing all the air out of dough. And leavened is yeast. When you put yeast in bread, it rises when you cook it. If you don't put yeast, it turns into a cracker flat. So the yeast makes it rise. So that's what they're talking about. This is allegories of sin, by the way. Yeast is, or leaven is used to talk about sin several times in the Bible. So what they're doing is sinning, causing their bread to be leavened, which is not good for bread. For whatever reason, it has adverse effects on the body. It'll eat you up from the inside. That might be part of the reason it causes you to die. Eating has a large part to do with your dying, by the way. Think about people that lived 900 years in the past. One of the things they all had in common was they didn't eat that often. They would carry around. So, however you want to see it, that's how it goes. In the day of our king, the princes have made him sick with bottles of wine. He has poured wine down his throat until he's pure sick. He's drunk off his gourd. He stretched out his hand with scornness. You know, when drunk people get upset, they tend to relive their scorn. That's what's happening here. For they have made ready their heart like an oven, whilst they lie in wait. Their baker sleepeth all night. In the morning it burneth as a flaming fire. Meaning their baker fell asleep on the job and burned what was in the oven. See how that would be allegory as to what's happening to the body when you sin? You being the baker have fallen asleep on the job, and your sin, being the bread, is burning like fire, meaning you're going to go to hell for that if you don't repent. They are all hot as an oven, and have devoured their judges. All their kings are fallen. There is none among them that calleth unto me. Not one of them have even considered talking to the Almighty for salvation. They're too busy living their lives to worry about the old man. And that's going to end, poorly for them. Ephraim hath mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. This is talking about Ephraim's bloodline. Remember a little while ago he said that Ephraim had strange children? That means marrying outside of their religion, having children that don't belong to God. Ephraim has mixed himself among the people, meaning that they don't care about their bloodline or their purity. They went and just bred with whoever they wanted to, and they had strange children. And so they're the cake that is not turned. In other words, their cake fell. It's not a good, sturdy cake. Strangers have devoured his strength, and he knoweth it not. He doesn't even realize that. Diversity is not strength, it's weakness. You're muddying the waters. You're diluting the serum. You can't do that. Strangers, meaning people not from your tribe or your religion in this sense, have devoured his strength, and he knoweth it not. He doesn't even know that he's lost all of his strength. He has no bargaining power left. Yea, gray hairs are here and there upon him, and he knoweth not. He doesn't even realize how haggard he's getting. He's getting a little long in the tooth and don't see it yet. He's having a midlife crisis. And the pride of Israel testifieth to his face. That pride is all up in my face. I don't like it. And they do not return to the Lord their God, nor seek him for all this stuff that they're doing, all this milling about. They don't even seek God to answer for any of this or to help solve it. They're trying to do it themselves or with their false deities. Ephraim also is like a silly dove without heart. They call to Egypt. They go to Assyria. They're just bouncing around to and fro. They have no commitment. Like a silly dove just flying wherever it wants to with no heart, no conviction. When they shall go, I will spread my net upon them. I'll catch them. They're not going to get away. I will bring them down as the fowls of the heaven. I will chastise them. I will give them a spanking like they deserve. As their congregation hath heard. You've been told that I tend to chastise people I love. Your congregation knows full well what's coming. If you spend a little more time in the Bible and learn God's word, you'll know what's coming too. And you'll expect it. And you'll be grateful for it because you'll know God only punishes you if he loves you. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but back when I was a kid, a spanking meant that your parents cared about you because they're trying to correct the wrong you're doing. Woe unto them, for they have fled from me. Destruction unto them, because they have transgressed against me. Though I have redeemed them, yet they have spoken lies. They have spoken lies against me. Thank you, Diego. I appreciate you, buddy. I'm doing my best, laying it down. Enjoying this Cuban cigar I'm smoking too. It's very nice. Wish you had one. All right. And they have not cried unto me with their heart when they howled upon their beds. They assemble themselves for corn and wine, and they rebel against me. They make sure to shove food down their gullet, but they don't come to me when they need me. They'd rather lay on their bed screaming at the sky, why, God? Why me? Why is this happening? I don't deserve this. Talk to God. Resolve your problem. Or live with it. It's up to you. Though I have bound and strengthened their arms, Yet do they imagine mischief against me, like the scientists do today. Everybody's out to get God. Everybody listen to Joe Rogan. He's always talking about God being silly and ridiculous and old chicken scratch on parchment paper. Can't have any intelligence to it. God was feeling that way then. That was 2,000 years ago or better. And he's saying here, I gave you strength and I bound you up. I'm the reason you're successful. And yet you imagine mischief against me. Does that sound fair? Does that sound logical to anybody but me? They return, but not to the Most High. They are like a deceitful bow. In other words, you can't hit the target with it. It's not good. Not a good shot. Their princes shall fall by the sword for the rage of their tongue. This shall be their derision in the land of Egypt. They will fall by the sword because of that mouth writing checks that their ass can't cash. It's exactly what's happening. Running that mouth. Don't believe me? Set the trumpet to thy mouth. He shall come as an eagle against the house of the Lord, because they have transgressed my covenant and trespassed against my law. What's God's law? The 10 Commandments. That's God's law. That's the law given to Moses. The 10 Commandments. There's only 10 rules that you have to follow. Israel shall cry unto me, my God, we know thee. Do you? I'm not sure you do. Do you know God? Who is your master? Who do you serve? Whom do you serve? Do you know? Ask yourself. Be honest. Israel hath cast off the thing that is good. The enemy shall pursue him because of that, casting off the thing which is good, which is God, by the way. When you cast off God, the enemy will pursue you, therefore making your life unbearable. They have set up kings, but not by me. They didn't consult me. They have made princes, and I knew them not. Don't even know who they are. For their silver and their gold have they made them idols, that they may be cut off, because I'm not going to support them and strengthen them and bind them up while they're worshiping false idols. You either worship me or nothing at all. You can't worship sticks and stones and precious metals that have no power. You understand? Yes, Hosea is a special prophet. Thy calf, O Samaria, hath cast thee off. Mine anger is kindled against them. How long will it be ere they attain to innocency? How long will they pretend to be innocent of crimes when they're in error? You can't keep that up forever. You can't claim to be innocent while you're doing bad, hook, line, and crook. For from Israel was it also. The workman made it, therefore it is not God. But the calf of Samaria shall be broken in pieces. That calf is a golden calf that they forged to worship. It's a false god. It's a little cow, little baby cow that they made out of gold. They've been doing this forever. They did it while they were at the mountain when God led them out of Egypt. While Moses was on Mount, whatever that mountain's called, I can't think of it right now. When he was up on the top of that mountain, he was talking to God. They could look up and see the presence of God. And if you've ever seen this mountain, if you've ever seen a picture of it, it's not an impressive mountain. It may be 5 stories high. It's really just a hill. So you can see the top of it from the bottom of it. They're off a little ways because they're in like a open area, like a spillway, because this is where all that water would run when they broke the rock. The water gathered in this little valley here where they set up camp on the edge of the water. So they're a good ways away from the mountain, but they can look right over there and see the top of this mountain and see the presence of God on the mountain. While they speak, they can hear the rumblings of God's voice speaking to Moses. And while they're listening to it, they're making a false idol to worship on the ground. How stupid can you be? Call me crazy. But if I were standing in the presence of God Almighty, I would not be. The last thing on my mind to be would be making a false idol to worship. I would be prostrate on my face, worshiping Almighty God. That's what I'd be doing. What would you be doing? Ask yourself, what circumstance do you think would make you do something like that in the presence of God? Makes no sense. They couldn't have been that dumb. There had to be other things going on to cause that. But he says, I'll take your little cow and I'll break it in pieces. That's how much I think of it. For they have sown the wind, and they shall reap the whirlwind. It hath no stalk. The bud shall yield no meal. If so be it yield, the strangers shall swallow it up. They ain't even going to be able to grow their own food. I'm going to take everything away from them. They'll have crops, but they won't produce any food. And if they happen to bud, a stranger will come along and eat it before you get a chance to have it. You won't get any of it. That's what God's saying. It's part of their punishment. Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein there is no pleasure. For they are gone up to Assyria as a wild ass alone by himself. Ephraim hath hired lovers. That's how desperate they are for some attention. Yea, though they have hired among the nations, now will I gather them, and they shall sorrow a little for the burden of the king of princes. I'm not going to kill them, but I'm going to make them feel bad for a while. They'll sorrow just a little for their punishment. And even though they have scattered themselves out among the nations, I'm going to gather them all back up into Ephraim and punish them at home where they belong, where I told them to stay. Not marry or breed outside of your religion. Don't follow strangers. They might follow you home. Because Ephraim hath made many altars to sin, altars shall be unto him to sin. And I have written to him the great things of my law, but they were counted as a strange thing. They didn't even receive it when I tried to tell them what the law was, what they were doing wrong. They sacrifice flesh for the sacrifices of mine offerings, and eat it. But the Lord accepteth them not. He's not taking your sacrifices. Why? Because you've done wrong, and you're not admitting it. Now will he remember their iniquity and visit their sins. They shall return to Egypt. Remember when I took you out of Egypt? I made you a free man. I brought you out of bondage and gave you all this land and set you up and made you beautiful and prosperous and made you the country you are. And now you're going to worship false idols? I'll send you right back to Egypt where I got you from. Right back into bondage, right back into nothing. You will lose everything I've given you if you can't stay with the program. You understand? For Israel hath forgotten his maker, and buildeth temples, and Judah hath multiplied fenced cities. But I will send a fire upon his cities, and it shall devour the palaces thereof. Your little fences don't mean anything to me, Judah, says God. Rejoice not, O Israel, for joy as other people, for thou hast gone a whoring from thy God. Thou hast loved a reward upon every corn floor. The floor and the winepress shall not feed them, and the new wine shall fail in her. What does all that mean? Well, the reward for the corn floor means they will work anywhere they could get jobs, not caring what the pay would be, meaning they'd get a reward, but it might not be as good as God intended them to have. You see, the way God set them up, they were making top everything. They were producing the food. They were selling the food, not making it. You understand? I mean, they were making it too, but you get what I'm saying. They were on top. They chose to go down and be vagabonds and be second tier. They chose that. The wine press, meaning it will not feed them, means that even when they press all the wine out of the grapes, there won't be enough left for them to pick up and eat. The grapes will be useless. And the wine will fail in them, meaning it won't ferment. It won't get them drunk. So even that, they have no refuge in the bottle even. Because of their lust, because of their acts of whoredom, going after false idols and taking up position anywhere they could get without thinking about the economy, as it were. And I'm being simplistic here, but it's because there's no better way to explain what's being said here. They shall not dwell in the Lord's land, but Ephraim shall return to Egypt, and they shall eat unclean things in Assyria. They shall not offer wine offerings to the Lord, neither shall they be pleasing unto him. Their sacrifices shall be unto them as the bread of mourners, unleavened, meaning it don't taste very good. All that eat thereof shall be polluted, for their bread, for their soul shall not come into the house of the Lord. You see, this tells you what the bread symbolizes. It symbolizes the soul. The leaven is the sin that enters the soul. And what he's saying here is, I'm going to take all your pluffer because of your whoredoms, because of your iniquities. And I won't allow you into the house of God. Why? Because that's where you can find good food always. You can survive in the house of God. You can go there and eat every day. But I'm not going to let you do that. You're not entering into the house of God. Not while you're being punished anyway. What will ye do in the solemn day, in the day of the feast of the Lord? For lo, they are gone because of destruction. Egypt shall gather them up. Memphis shall bury them. The pleasant places for their silver. Nettles shall possess them. Thorns shall be in their tabernacles. I'm going to send them to Egypt, and then that's where they're going to die. They're not going to get anything. They won't be here for the feast of the Lord. But if they are, they'll be servants. They won't be attending. The days of visitation are come, and the days of recompense are come. Visitation from God, meaning he don't do that anymore. There's more proof of it. And recompense, that's where you can ask God to fix something and he'll do it. Those days are over. Israel shall know it. The prophet is a fool. The spiritual man is mad for the multitude of thine iniquity and the great hatred. The watchman of Ephraim was with my God, but the prophet is a snare of a fowler in all his ways, and hated in the house of his God. So this prophet is not a good man. He's not doing God's work. He's not delivering God's message, and God does not like him because of it. And the people that work in the house of God don't like it either. They see right through it. They have deeply corrupted themselves, as in the days of Gibeah. Therefore, he will remember their iniquity, and he will visit their sins. In other words, he'll go back and remember what you did wrong and punish you for it at a later time. He may not get you while you did it, but he'll get you at some point. You're not going to get away with it. That's what visit the sin means. He'll get you for it. He'll remember it down the road. He might not remember it right now, but he will remember, because remember, God remembers everything. He don't forget anything. I found Israel like grapes in the wilderness. I saw your fathers as the first ripe in the fig tree at her first time, meaning the first fig that ever grew on that tree when it was ripe. That's how I found your fathers. That's how I found Israel. But they went to Baal Peor and separated themselves unto that shame. And their abominations were according as they loved, meaning they spread it everywhere. As for Ephraim, their glory shall fly away like a bird from birth and from the womb and from the conception. Where does life begin? From birth, from the womb, from conception. That's where life begins. Conception, not birth. Conception. This list goes 3 ways back. When do you conceive? When the sperm meets the egg, you have conceived. At that point, a second life is generated. It may not be a fully formed life, but a life nonetheless. Period. It's in the Bible. It's a fact. Though they bring up their children, yet will I bereave them. They might raise their kids, but I'll take them away from them. That there shall not be a man left. Yea, woe also to them when I depart from them. Ephraim, as I saw Tyrus, is planted in a pleasant place, but Ephraim shall bring forth his children to the murderer. Ephraim must have screwed up big time, because they're getting the brunt of it. They won't even get to keep their children. That's how bad they screwed up. Nothing else worse. You want to be in the sight of God. You don't want him to turn his back on you, because when he does, things like that happen. Give them, O Lord, what wilt thou give? Give them a miscarrying womb and a dry breast. That's what the Lord said, give them. What do you want them to have when they sin so badly that you can't fix it? Dry up their womb and give them dry breasts. They'll miscarry every baby they have. They won't even be able to have children, let alone keep them. All their wickedness is in Gilgal, for there I hated them. For the wickedness of their doings, I will drive them out of mine house. I will love them no more. All their princes are revolters. Ephraim is smitten. Their root is dried up, meaning their bloodline is dried up. They shall bear no fruit. They're not going anywhere. That family is not branching out from here. This is the end of the line. Yea, though they bring forth, yet will I slay even the beloved fruit of their womb, even the sweetest children they have. I'll kill them all. They're not getting out of here. Ephraim is over, for a time anyway. My God will cast them away because they did not hearken unto him. Why is he doing all of this? Because they did not hearken unto God. They didn't listen. They didn't do what they were told. That's why. Actions have consequences. If you don't do what you're told by whatever authority is telling you to do so, you will be punished accordingly. That goes for on this earth and outside of it. They shall be wanderers among the nations. You ever seen any Jews in modern times? Did they look established to you? Israel is an empty vine. He bringeth forth fruit unto himself. According to the multitude of his fruits, he hath increased the altars. According to the goodness of his land, they have made goodly images. What's an image? A false idol. Their heart is divided between false idols and God, and God don't like that condition one bit. Their heart is divided. Now shall they be found faulty. He shall break down their altars. He shall spoil their images. What does God think of their false idols? He'll break them down and spoil them. That's what he thinks of them. He don't like it. For now they shall say, we have no king, because we feared not the Lord. What then should a king do to us? Question mark. They have spoken words, swearing falsely and making a covenant. Thus judgment springeth up as hemlock in the furrows of the field. What is hemlock? It's a poison that will kill you almost instantly. When they pick that and eat it, thinking it's food, they die from it. And it sprang up everywhere, metaphorically speaking, meaning that they have caused this condition between them and God, that everything they do is like eating hemlock, poisonous. The inhabitants of Samaria shall fear because of the calves of Bethaven, the false idols in Bethaven. That's why they are afraid, because they know how God feels about it. For the people thereof shall mourn over it, and the priests thereof shall rejoice on it. Oh, no, sorry. The people will mourn over the calves and the priests that rejoiced over the cattle. Sorry. For the glory thereof, because it is departed from it, meaning it has no value. It has no authority. It has no strength. It has no get her done in it, because it's a rock or a false idol made of gold or silver or something like that. It has no power. It's not God. It cannot heal you. It cannot knit to do. That's not God. God is the real deal. He's the article number one, numero uno. You understand? He can save you. He can heal you. He can make you happy. He can answer your prayers. He can do unto you. This other thing that you created out of sticks, it can't do anything. And if you give it your faith, not only can it not do anything, but now you've insulted your Father who made you. And now you're going to pay the price for it. Don't worship false idols. It's not good for your soul. That's where we're going to stop for today, ladies and gentlemen. We'll pick up tomorrow night at 10:06, where we'll dig even deeper into this fantastic book of Ephraim. Wow, what a fantastic, awesome book this was tonight. I hope it touched your heart as much as it touched your mind. I hope you learned something. At the very least, I hope this read caused you to question some very important values and think about things a little bit. Go delving for more answers. Get them any way you can, by hook or by crook. Go find them. They're out there. Now, if you would, please, take a moment and hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon so you'll get notifications of when I'm going to be online and when my new videos drop. Smash that like button. It's free. It's right in front of you. It takes no effort at all. All you got to do is hit it one time. It really does help the channel with the algorithms and helps us get recommended to other people. So please do that. Share this video with people you love. Better yet, share it with people you don't love. Bring them into our family. Make them part of the fold. Be part of their solutions, not part of their problems. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking about. Question me, curse me, bless me, challenge me, confront me, conform with me, drink my Kool-Aid. Make your own Kool-Aid. As long as you're thinking critically, that's what I want. Critical thought coming from that gray matter between your ears. Think, people. And hey, if you love the Word of God and you can see the value of what I'm trying to build here and you'd like to be part of something special, or if God has laid it upon your heart to send your tithes, offerings, or love offerings, or if you'd just like to pat me on the back and say, hey, nice job, Jake, you can do that. You can support this channel and our endeavors by going to paypal.me/Jake Johnson Band or Cash App at $ Jake Johnson Band. That's paypal.me/Jake Johnson Band or $ Jake Johnson Band. You can do that. Every little bit helps. It's a win-win. It's a blessing for me. It's a blessing for you too. We do live in a reciprocal universe. Asking, you shall receive. Knocking, it shall be open to you. All of those things. Give, and you will get. God notices these things. So if you wish to contribute, please do so. If not, the show's free. Don't feel bad about gleaning from it. You are to tithe where you were taught. So if you feel led, do so, and otherwise don't. And with that, I will be grateful for anything you do, and I will tirelessly, I will give everything of every fiber of my being to be worthy of it, of your support. And with that, I will take your questions and comments. Let her rip. Anything you'd like to say, questions, thoughts, criticisms, catharses, whatever it is. Ebenezer says, great lesson in preaching. God bless. God bless you too. Namaste. Assalamu alaikum. Peace out, bro. Whatever you like. You have it. Any questions or comments or criticisms or catharses or capitalism or anything else that starts with a C? That's good right there. I don't care who you are. Welcome to the show, Ebenezer. I hope you come back for more. We're here Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Sunday and Monday is Bible study. Wednesday and Friday, we just hang out and talk about whatever. Sometimes I'll do a debunking video, which I got one coming out next week. It's going to be interesting. Matt Dillahunty, I'm going to tear you apart. I got my gloves on and I'm coming for you. I'm going to snap you like a Slim Jim. Metaphorically speaking, in Christian love. But on Wednesdays and Friday, I'll play the guitar. We'll hang out. We'll talk. Whatever. Have a good time. Monday and Sunday, we get serious. Talk about Friday. 8:30. That's when we're live, but you obviously can watch it at any time, day or night. Just if you come on and we're not live, leave me a comment. Let me know you were here. I appreciate that. Very good, Jake. I love it. I'll rewatch it, and I will see you tomorrow night. I love you, and I love you too. I love you true, through and through. It's me and you. From now until 2. You know who. Go to bed. I love you. Amazing, says Diego. Thank you, sir. Amazing yourself. Might I say you look fantastic tonight. All dressed up. Like you're going to church. Like you're going to church. Welcome, Ebenezer. Good to see you. Hope you come back. Love and happiness. I think that's what that means. Or pray because I think that's what that means. Or pray because I'm a demon with hearts all over my face coming after you. Maybe it means that. I don't know. I will definitely be back. Well, thank you. I will definitely be here waiting on you. Not in a creepy way or anything. Diego, I love you, buddy. May God bless all, says April. Thank you, sweetheart. Don't forget to hit the like button and feed Jake. I was just beating you to the punch. You usually say that. Tell Kevin I said good night. Thanks for dropping by. And if you guys want to have a little bit of entertainment, watch my little short videos that I made over the weekend. You'll get a good idea of what I was doing this weekend. Signing off. Nighty-night. Love you all true. Well, we love you too, and have a great night. God bless you, and kiss those babies for me. And enjoy the rest of the night. I'm going to bed soon too, because I've had a long weekend and I'm tired. Tired little boy, that's what I am. You can tell by the furrow in my brow and the lethargic nature of my face and the gray in my beard and the length in my teeth and the age in my eye. Yes, don't forget to like and feed Jake. He's been a good doggy. Thank you, dear. Feed Jake. Put a little kibbles and bits in my bowl. I appreciate that. Nice meeting everyone. Bye. It was nice to meet you too, Ebenezer. Please come back tomorrow night. We're going to do it again, 8:30. Have a great night. Much love. Kevin says he loves you too, brother. That's the power sign, not the other one. I hate you got to go, Ebenezer. I hope to see you tomorrow night at 8:30. Says April. Well, I got to go too. I'm tired. Won't you do me a favor? When you go out into the world tomorrow, take a little love with you. Take a little kindness wherever you go. Be nice to somebody. Go out of your way to just be nice to somebody. Doesn't matter what it is. Help an old lady across the street. Give a bum $1. Help your friend move. Whatever it is you got to do, just do something nice and watch it change your life. I promise you it will. From the inside out, it will cause your inner light to start shining. And when it does, everyone around you will see it, and they're going to want a part of that. They're going to come to you and say, hey, what's different with you? You're glowing almost. Show them. It's because I love God and I'm being nice. Prove that God's words are true with every move you make, and your life will be nothing but good, smooth sailing, I promise you. Night, night. I love you true from the bottom of my heart. God bless you. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.